Welcome to the Tavin Dillard podcast, y'all guys. It's season 5, episode 5 of the Tavin Dillard podcast. I'm so glad that you're joining me today to hang out a little bit. We almost to the mid-Decembers, y'all guys. It's the holly jolly times of years. It's the Merry Christmas. I tell you, I've been busy. I got a few greetings to shoot today, the personal greetings. Those have been coming in. Folks been ordering them for folks for Christmas, birthdays, that kind of thing. So that's been going on. And you can check the show notes anytime you want to. You can pause this right now and check the show notes if you want to on the old personal greetings, how you can get a hold of them. Of course, them t-shirts. The personal greetings for Christmas, I got it set to like order by December 17th. Now, if you listen to this on the day this air, that's December 13th, then you know as well as I do, that's about 4 more days. I probably can still get them turned out if you order on the 18th or 19th later, you know. But I kind of saying, hey, if you can get them orders in by the 17th, that'd be a big help so I can get them shot and get them delivered to your inbox in time for the holly jolly. Hey, and the other thing is the show notes got all them other things. You probably next week could be a good time if you're going to order anything for Christmas. Burger Shed shirt, Team Burger Shed. I got on that shirt right now. I got on the hat right now too. And then of course there's Donut Goes, Tavin's Lawn Care Services. That's me, Tavin Dillard, mowing, edging, grass cutting legend. And that hat and that shirt would be in the show notes under the merch. You know, you get all that there. Turkey salmon. You got somebody in your life that likes to go hunting, and you know they want to hunt the stuff that's elusive. It ain't easy to find a turkey salmon. It's never the bait's fault. That's a fishing shirt. No Pro fishing shirt. Got that too. All kinds of stuff. Hoodies. We got the No Pro hoodie now. I got the Burger Shed hoodie. So that's about that. You can check again. It's in the show notes. Tavin's bag of bacon. Those have been selling like bacon. You know, like that's how that go. That's what they should call hotcakes. They say them hotcakes are selling like bacon, not the other way around. And then Tavin's honey from bees, all of that's in there. And then if you look ahead to next year, and some folks have asked me about doing live shows, when and where. If you got a venue and you want to book me for a live show, that information, I'll put that down there too. The way to do that is just email tavindillard@gmail.com, or you can text me 501-322-6249. All of that, y'all guys, is in the show notes today. How are you doing? This is the part of the podcast where I ask how you doing, and then we kind of just stall out at that point because I can't hear you. I hope you're doing well. The way I know how you're doing is that you shoot me an email, you shoot me a text message, or you leave a comment on my videos on the Instagrams. That audience has grown, y'all guys. I think last week I was talking about it. In the last 2 weeks now, it kind of shot up there. Like 40,000 new folks follow me on the TikToks, and about, 20-something thousand new folks on the Instagrams. So just new people found my videos, and I appreciate that. And hopefully if you're new here, then it means you found my podcast, and welcome in. A lot to talk about today. So here's the deal. Christmas times, a lot going on. One of them, Memaw wanted to throw a Christmas party. I'll get into that in a little bit. And then the other one is I went with my gal Cricket and her mama, her name Rosie, out to the outlet malls. And there's a couple reasons for that. I'll get into that in a second. Let me just back up and say Memaw, she used to be a real social gal, like throwing parties and getting in fights, and sometimes that happened on the same night. You know, but then all of a sudden she wasn't about them parties no more. She wasn't about getting out there and getting in trouble kind of thing or whatever. So now this year she decided she wanted to throw a Christmas party. Well, I was thinking about that. I was like, well, good on you, Memaw. Get out there, you know. And she's talking to her friend Claudia and then her best friend Tabitha Tipton. And, they all got excited about this Christmas party. Well, Memaw wasn't about to have it at her trailer. So now it started making sense to me. She said, okay, she want to have a little party, but she want to do that at somebody else's house. You know, okay, I see. Because she ain't got a lot of room in that trailer. Is she going to invite a lot of people? And Tabitha and her husband said, we can have it out here. He went hunting anyway. He wasn't going to be there, but he let the house open for him. And they decorated and did all these things. They already had some decorations that they just do every year anyhow. But then for Memaw's party, they tried to get a little more festive. Well, I ended up being the only feller out there, and that's only because I had to drive Memaw on a 91 Buick Regal. She did say that I could leave for a little bit, you know, if I didn't want to be there. So about sunset, I dropped Memaw and Tabby Jean tipped it off, and Claudia drove herself. Well, I didn't have to drop off Tabby Jean. She lived there, so it was just Memaw, and I didn't leave her car because I wanted to go into town. I didn't really want to party with Memaw and her gal pals. So I dropped them off, and they doing what they do. So they got a little punch. It's like ice cream or something with the ginger ale in it kind of thing. You dip, ladle it out. All kinds of snacks. Claudia brought brownies. They had all kind of finger food, basically what it was. Just snacking finger foods. They gonna play cards. I don't know what all kind of games. Memaw brought Rook. They was gonna play some of that and just have a good time. Had a little radio playing some Christmas music. So you see how that goes. Them gals were just gabbing, having a good time. It's like a transplant. An early bird gets the perm. It's what they do down there, but they ain't paying for hairdos. They ain't got their hair in a dryer, nothing like that. They ain't got to mess with Lindy Ray Mantell at the front desk, but it's the same idea. They sit around, they talk, and they catch up, and they got things to say to each other, and they gonna do all them things. Well, I don't know what part in the party. Cheryl Grubbs, she's there. You know Cheryl, her and her husband Shane, they own Donut Goals. They got a doggy named Jalapeno. They got a little gal named Maisley, who's like a junior cheerleader. And they got a little boy, I call him Shane Jr., but his name's really like Perry Lee. But they got that family, right? And Cheryl Grubbs, she used to years ago be a cheerleader in high school. And now she coached that junior cheer team that her daughter Maisley's on. Well, who cares, Tavin? Well, this is what I'm telling you. She decided to get up in that party, and she goes, hey, y'all guys, let's sing some Christmas carols. And that ain't the worst idea at a Christmas party, for sure. But the thing about it is, that wasn't going to happen till, later in the party. So hold on to that, waiting for Cheryl Grubbs to do a little Christmas caroling. Before this party, a couple days before, I was driving, not my car, I was riding in the back of my girlfriend's mama's car. So it was Rosie, that's her mama, Cricket, and then me in the back seat heading to them outlet malls to do a little Christmas shopping. It was my opportunity to get Memaw, something for Christmas, like out of the way. And then we had all them other things we had to get. Well, I didn't have to get nothing. The reason I went out there is because Cricket asked me to. She goes, oh, me and my mom are going out to outlet malls. I'm thinking, oh, brother. And she goes, well, and then I know Memaw been dropping some hints. I was like, well, maybe that's a place to get that. Thing about it is, outlet malls, for the amount of time it take to get out there with the gas you paying, and then the deals ain't all that. I ain't ran into a bunch of deals out there. I mean, there's a lot of shopping, but I ain't thinking like, boy, this is worth the drive to be out here in the food court, which is one of my favorite places to go to the mall. It's overpriced. It's highly overpriced, for a corn dog or Dr. Pepper, or in my case, I got both of them for lunch. But we get out there, and here's the deal. They was going to do some free gift wrapping. Cricket and her mama, they wrap gifts out there at the outlet malls, I guess, every year, like it's part of the thing they do, just like a service. Folks is buying stuff. And she's like, we going out there, me and mama going to do that. And I was like, well, I'll just window shop for Memaw while y'all do that. Well, we got out there, and it was early. It wasn't time for the gift wrapping session, so we just piddle around about 30 minutes or so, look around. I did go to that food court. Like I said, I got a Dr. Pepper and a corn dog, highly overpriced, but I washed that corn dog down with the Dr. Pepper anyway. You got to make a choice when you're out there. Cricket got a burrito and a smoothie. I don't know how that combo work out, but that seemed to be what she wanted, so that's what she got. And got about that time where we going to go to that gift wrapping table, and her and her mama were going to meet back up. Well, her mama wasn't there yet, and then Cricket say something to me I didn't expect her to say. I didn't expect her to hear this with my ears, for her to say, hey, if my mama ain't here, you got help. And I was like, oh, Cricket, I can't do that. I'm bad with them scissors, and I'm really heavy on that tape. I don't know if you want me wrapping any gifts around here, kind of thing. She goes, well, that's the thing. If Mom ain't here, I may need a little bit of help, and I can help coach you. I know how to do it. And I was like, well, okay, Cricket, whatever you think, So we get there. About that time, this little old couple shuffle up, and they ready. Now the party started. Now it's time to start wrapping things. This lady had a pair of slippers. She go to Cricket, could you wrap these for me? Oh, yeah, what color would you like? What kind of paper? You get to pick out your own gift wrapping paper that they had options of. So they start doing that, and that old man, he's with that gal, that lady. Now he shuffled over to me with a can of cashews, and then he done peeled off the thing, and he took a handful out, and he's eating these cashews. So I'm just looking at him like, well, good on this guy. He got a little snack, don't he? And he goes, wrap this up for me. And I'm like, what? He said, don't tell her. I was like, is that somebody else's cashews? Like you tore into somebody else's gift? He goes, wrap it up. And I was like, well, I don't know how to wrap the thing. He goes, get on with it, sonny. So I'm thinking, well, this fella that's eating a can of cashews, he's going to gift it to somebody else, done already open. He wants them wrapped pretty quick. I don't think he give a little side eye to his wife, see if she see what's going on, because I expect that if she found out he was eating that Christmas gift that they bought for somebody else, boy, she's going to jerk a knot in his tail, kind of thing. So I thought, all right, buddy, I'll see if I can wrap this, but I don't know what I'm doing. He don't care that I don't know what I'm doing. He just wants it wrapped, and I'm the one behind the table, so he figured I'm a professional. So I cut that wrapping paper, and then I wrap it, and I'm just wrapping that paper like around that can. But, if you wrap it around a can like this way, the top and the bottom is still exposed. Like you can still look down and see what the top and the bottom is. So I figured what I'm going to do, I'm going to tape the side, and then I'm just going to smash down the top and bottom part and tape that over like that way. Well, I'm trying to get to that thing, and that man reached in there, he tried to peel it off, and his wife, she look over, and then he kind of just stand up like this way and look like bank, like I didn't do nothing wrong. And she said, Vernon, you getting that wrapped? He goes, oh yeah, I'm getting it wrapped. So I figured she called him Vernon, so I figured that's his name. Figured that's his name, Vernon. And so I'm trying to mash that paper down over the top of that thing and over the bottom of that thing, tape it up so that the gift is wrapped. And then I did my job as a gift wrapper. Well, he reached in, he trying to pry up the lid of that can, and I said, Vernon, you can't have no more cashews. You're going to eat that whole gift up. And ain't no use in it being wrapped at that point. And he knowed he needed to walk away from there with the gift wrap just wrapped up, or else his wife was going to be hot. She's going to be mad at him because he had one job to do. Take that can of cashews over to me and get it wrapped. And now he got it wrapped. So I taped that thing down. I was like, Vernon, don't get into this again. Just get that back over to your wife so there ain't no trouble, kind of thing. So they do that. Cricket, she looks over at me. She's done with them slippers, and so does that Vernon's wife, and they jaws drop like I thought I just completed a mission. Like, boy, I did something real good. When they looking at me like I just failed completely. And that wife's like, what in the world? And Vernon's like, I like it. This is how I want it. And all of a sudden, boy, Vernon went to bat for me, kind of thing, and he's done. He didn't want to mess with any more rapping, so I was good. And Cricket was like, okay, well, I guess Tavin really knows what he's doing over there. So I made it through that one. But, buddy, I was sure ready for Rosie to show up. Well, meanwhile, while we over there holding down the gift wrapping section, Rosie, I don't know what store she went into, but she wanted a seasonal knit pullover sweater. She's looking for a seasonal knit pullover sweater, and could have done Adder Candle and Blanche, Kevin Klein's, Ladies Breeches Emporium. I don't know which store she went into, but I do know that she was not there wrapping gifts. Turns out she's in the store, got in the dressing room, and she got two seasonal knit pullover sweaters in that dressing room with her, and she got one of them on her head, and she got stuck on a hook on the back of that dressing room doorway. Or I don't think it's on the back. You know how they got them hooks to hang up the ones you about to do, like on the wall or whatever? Anyhow, her arm is caught in that thing. The sweater's pulled up over her head. She can't go front ways, back ways. She just stuck in this seasonal knit pullover sweater. Now you think, well, good thing she got a cellular. Well, sure enough she do, but apparently she'd been out there looking at yoga pants and left her cell phone on the shelf of this store next to the yoga pants. So Rosie ain't in the store next to the yoga pants shelf with her phone on. She inside the dressing room stuck in a seasonal knit pullover sweater. So that's how that's going. And can't nobody hear. She yelling. She can't the way they make them in some of them outlet mall dressing rooms, they make them like the old phone booths. Boy, you sealed in there. Ain't no half doors. It's a full door. You can't yell under it, kind of thing. And she kicking at that door, trying to get close enough to kick it, to get that folks' attention. She kicked off a short-heeled sandal. So now Rosie's in that dressing room with one short-heeled sandal on and a seasonal knit pullover sweater just up around her face, draped up there like that way, and she got one of them arms hooked on a hook, and she don't know which way to pull to get that thing off, and she's starting to just jerk and snag a seasonal knit pullover sweater that she don't even own. So that's happening back in the dressing room. Meanwhile, Cricket kind of fired me. She seen what I did that one time. I tried to do another gift, and the line's getting longer, but she figured, boy, the best Tavin can do right now is just talk to people, glad hand folks, maybe sing Christmas carols if they ask me to. So I'm out, working the crowd like, hey, how you doing? Oh, you got some Christmas shopping done, didn't you? Oh, we'd be happy to help you. Oh, yeah, Cricket up there, she can cut and she can tape pretty well, real well. Oh yeah, stay in line kind of thing. So I'm over there doing all that. So that's the best I can do. I'm basically a cheerleader for my girlfriend in her abilities to wrap gifts. And my head's on a swivel though. Where's Rosie at? Where's Rosie at? Where's Rosie at? Where's Rosie at? Well, Rosie is still in the dressing room, stuck in a seasonal knit pullover sweater, trying to get out of that thing with one short-heeled sandal on her foot. Well, about that time, I get called into duty because it's just getting too crowded. Well, somebody got a pair of crease breeches and they wanted just wrap, but they didn't want it in a box. So what I had to do was just set it down on top of the wrapping paper, and then you cut the wrapping paper around it and you fold it and you tape it up kind of thing. Well, I cut into them creased breeches. So all of a sudden, that person, this lady, she goes, I don't want a pair of cut crease. I just paid a high dollar for them. And I was thinking, well, I thought this outlet mall couldn't be high dollar, but you don't want to argue with a customer. You just want to say, I'm so sorry, you right, kind of thing. Well, they went and got the mall security kind of thing. And this little fella shuffled. If he's more than 5'1", he ain't a hair more than that. And he shuffled over there, a little portly guy, and he's like, hey, I heard there's a problem over here. And I was like, no, well, what happened is I don't know what I'm doing, and I cut into a pair of crease breeches. But I think if she got the receipt, she'd go back and just tell him what happened and say, hey, this fella that don't know how to wrap gifts cut into my crease breeches when he's trying to wrap them out here for free. And he goes, well, why in the world are you the one wrapping presents? I said, well, because my gal here, Cricket, her mama Rosie went missing, and boy, he perked up. You know, mall security got like a mission to solve now. He goes, come again? I said, well, she ain't been here, and she ain't answering her cell phone. She was looking for a seasonal knit pullover sweater, and boy, this guy's alarms were going off. Like I was giving him information that he's going to use to solve the mystery. He's like, seasonal knits. He's thinking in his head, which stores at the mall have seasonal knit pullover sweaters kind of thing? And he's like, I'm on it. And so off he goes, and I said, her name's Rosie, okay? So you can just holler for her name. That may help too. Just Rosie, you know, kind of thing. And she just walk out the store that she's in. Or I don't know how it worked, but I thought that'd be helpful. And off he go, boy. He's shuffling them little tiny feet and them little tiny legs and that portly little girth he's carrying, you know, in his mall security outfit. He gone. He gone like a very slow tornado, like a real slow funnel cloud, not like a lightning bolt. I mean, he moving. He just can't move fast. That's just how he built. That's how God made him. So anyway, he gone, and I'm back in line glad-handed, folks. The crease breeches lady's mad, and but she did have a mission of her own. She's going to take that receipt and back to the store and see if they could refund the money, or trade her for a pair of crease breeches that ain't been cut by me, kind of thing, or cut by anybody, truth be told. So that's all going on, and sure enough, the second store that old security guard goes in, and he make a beeline for the manager. That's the person with a headset. I guess they don't have them headsets out to everybody in the store. And so he goes, hey, when's the last time y'all did a jet dressing room check? And she goes, well, it's been a little bit while. We've been busy. And boy, he off to that dressing room. And then he remembered that name I gave him. I said, her name's Rosie, like kind of way. And he knocking on doors. He said, Rosie! Rosie! All of a sudden, she's like, I'm in here. I'm Rosie, kind of thing. Well, about that time, that manager caught up to the security guard. She fiddling with her key. She unlocked that dressing room door, and there she is, Rosie in all her splendor, in a seasonal knit pullover sweater that's gotten yanked so hard. I mean, some yarn coming loose or whatever kind of thing. It's a mess. And she got one shoe on. That's short-heeled sandals right by the door where that security guard pushed it open. And they got her out of there, and they got her back. And I'll tell you one thing, maybe she can't figure out how to put a seasonal knit pullover sweater on in a dressing room bathroom at the outlet malls, but she know how to wrap gifts. And boy, we was glad to get her back over there at the gift wrapping section. And they couldn't sell that. She didn't want that sweater that she got all snagged up. It was a different size by that time anyway. She pulled it so hard. And they wasn't going to be able to sell it. They had to do giveaway on that one. I don't know if they donated it to a local place or how that worked. But Cricket and her mama ended up getting them things wrapped real good for folks. And her mom was a little bit flustered, like she was willing to pay high dollar for a Dr. Pepper from the food court at that point. Just, cool off a little bit. She'd been a little parched. And on top of that, she's scared a little bit. You get locked in a dressing room like that away. So that was the outlet malls. I had to sing Christmas carols on the way there with them, and on the way back, like Cricket starts singing, she looked back in the back seat, and I just kind of smiled, but she don't look away till I start just singing with them. And so we ended it on what you might call a high note. Of course, I'm a tenor. Me. Meanwhile, I was telling you about Memaw's Christmas party that got started out at Tavin Tipton's. So I dropped them off. And this is a couple of days after the Outlet Malls. I was off that. I'd come down off the traumatic experience of losing my girlfriend's mother at the Outlet Malls. And I was ready to, drop Memaw off. So they over there, right? And they got the punch bowl. And they playing the card games. And then Cheryl Grubbs announced she want to do Christmas carols. And I don't know if it's something in my family, but when people look at me and say, sing Christmas carol, I'm like, well, it wasn't my idea. I don't know if I want to do it. And Memaw and her friends are like, hey, we got Christmas music playing. We don't really want to. Well, Cheryl Grubbs, she's just a performer anyway. When you form a cheerleader and you coach a junior cheer team, you got it in you. And she's like, well, I guess I'll just do it myself kind of thing. So off she goes on Hark the Herald Angels Sing, and she pulled an 8-foot ribbon out of her purse, and she's going to proceed to do like a little dance thing, some sort of little interpretive ribbon dance in Tabby Tipton's living room during the Christmas party them guys are throwing, where they playing cards and they drinking punch and they eating brownies and listening to Christmas music already. Now you got Cheryl Grubbs. She's just in a Christmas sweater and windbreaker pants. Some pants that you might wear if you was going on a little walk, a brisk walk in the morning. And then she got an 8-foot ribbon. And in the 8-foot ribbon, she's going to start kind of like slinging it around, I guess, and dancing to it while she's singing. Well, it ain't a big living room they got there. And she hit her knee on Tabby Jean's coffee table, and she started going down like a newborn fawn on a frozen pond, and she grabbed that punch bowl. Well, that punch bowl, gravity, the way gravity works, once you put a little leverage on that punch bowl, it's all coming with you. Ice cream, ginger ale, all that. And she got an 8-foot wet ribbon, a wet hand. And Tabby Jean got a wet floor because that whole punch bowl spilt over, just like right there. And about that time, Mabel Childress just showed up to the party. She walked through the front door, and she looked at what's going on, and she sees Cheryl Grubbs with an 8-foot ribbon and a punch bowl spilling over, and all of that's wet. And Cheryl get up and say, let me try this again. Kid you not, Mabel Childress. Way it's been told to me, she do an out face, and she leave. That's the first time Mabel Childress ever been to a party and left before saying a word. Now, Memaw, she had words to say. Tabby Jean Tipton wasn't happy about getting that punch bowl stuff on her floor and all over the place. And Memaw just say, Cheryl, you got to be done now. And Cheryl's like, I can't get up. So them guys had to help her, and Cheryl was done because she had to put an ice pack on her knee and just kind of play cards with everybody else. And they didn't have no punch left. That was it. Everything that was there was in that bowl. And Cheryl Grubbs done, ruined it with her little 8-foot ribbon dance, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, interpretive dance medley or whatever it was. But they had some Dr. Pepper. So they brought that out. And Cheryl Grubbs was a little bit sticky up her hand and her arm. She had an ice pack on her knee. And things settled down. And that's the kind of party they wanted. Memaw didn't get in a fight. I bet if Mabel Childress had been there a little longer, there's the potential for that. But that didn't happen. And they all had a pretty good time. And I don't know about your town, but the festivities are in full swing. They in full swing right now. From the outlet mall shopping, to the gift wrapping, to the Christmas parties. The interpretive dance, maybe you can avoid that at your Christmas parties. Memaw apparently couldn't at hers. There's a lot going on, a lot more to come. I hope y'all are having a good week, and I sure appreciate you joining me here on the Tavin Dillard podcast. If you need to get some bacon, Tavin's bag of bacon, that stuff is moving, and I'd love it to move on to you. You got to try it. Check the show notes today. Tavin's Honey from Bees is in there too. It's a beautiful thing. Thanks to Bee House Honey, and thanks to Bacon Boise for the bacon. And then you can check the link for all the shirts, hats, hoodies. Need a personal greeting? That's about time to order that. If you want one of them, it's about time to click on that link in the show notes. Let me know how you're doing. Text me, 501-322-6249. Send me an email, tabindillard@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. It is the holly jolly times of years. And hey, if you ain't got stuck in an outlet mall dressing room this week on a hook inside a seasonal knit pullover sweater, or hit your knee on a coffee table trying to do an 8-foot ribbon dance at a Christmas party, you having a pretty good week. Me, I'm Tavin Dillard. This is the Tavin Dillard Podcast. Until next time, y'all guys, we'll see you later.